Hey guys, welcome to another audio commentary done by Diggity. Sorry if there's some errors and bugs in here. I had to convert this video a couple times. Usually I get my AVI files from another source, but this time I wanted to get this out of the way, so instead of waiting around to get it from a special someone who, thank you, not sure if he wants me to mention his name across YouTube, so I'll refrain from doing it. This is going to be a match between Mind and Haran. KTF is fielding Haran, and WeMade Fox is fielding Mind. And this is going to be the first match for Mind outside of the MSL, and really a good opponent for him to go up against. Haran, an up-and-coming Zerg player, and really been very good against Terran. He's beaten Huish and he's beaten Light, and so we'll see how he does against the MSL champ. Katrina is the map, as there, yes, you can see the little graphic there. Apparently, I haven't checked statistic on it lately, but I think everybody, if you listen to my commentaries consistently, you know why I don't like Katrina. It's not just the name. But really, one thing that has come as a result is some really creative Zerg play. Specifically, if you want to go check out some awesome Zerg play, go watch Oversky versus Freedom on Moletrap's videos. His, of course, is... well, first of all, you can check my YouTube link page, or you can just go to YouTube.com/Moletrap. And YouTube.com, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, that was just... Oversky made me such a happy man. And it looks like Mind is in fact going to go for a standard kind of seal-in build. One thing I have to say about Mind, he knows his opponents. I have never seen him go into a game unprepared, and I don't think that's just because of MSL play. I do think he's dedicated. I do think they've kind of called him Rommel Toss because of his really good tank play, but I think it's also because of his very good strategic play. And it looks like Haran is going to go for an early expansion, going to take that protected expansion and go from there. And really, that's a very safe maneuver. I wouldn't be surprised actually to see a Zerg player go into a very quick 3 hatchery build, because it's pretty standard for Terran players to go for an early seal. It's not, I don't expect them to go for kind of an aggressive 2 factory build, or to go a very quick 3 barrack build, especially when they get a free command center like this. As you can see, Mind putting down that command center kind of expectedly, and he still hasn't blocked his front door. He went straight for a fast expand, going straight for economy, and I think that's a really intelligent, as you can see, prepared, really knowing that just without any information, knowing Haran was going to go for another build, and he catches the drone is in the back. He might be able to take out that SCV, and that would really set Mind back, but Mind bringing in another SCV to kind of fend that attack off. So it looks like Haran does know that expansion is going on. He's putting down a 3rd hatchery next to his base. It doesn't look like he's going to put it out at another spawn. 2 barracks going down in the meantime for Mind, and so we're going to see some pretty standard medic marine play from him. And that's going to be, he has a lot of options now, just because he's going to have the economy to do a lot. He's going to have 2 gas, he's going to have both those command centers, so he really could very quickly go into straight factory and go from there. I'm not sure if Haran is going to have what it takes to kind of deal with that. He's getting his spawning pool up now, but really I feel like if he was going to be able to deal with this technologically, he needed to get that gas down, which he has not done at this point. Really, get an early Mutalisk attack out or something like that. Maybe even early drop. It looks like he's ferrying units out, and he just now getting that expansion up, and he's going to be about even with Mind. But really, the Zerg standard needs to have that 2nd hatchery to kind of compete with Terran, in my opinion, versus where Terran out of 2 expansions, they can basically do everything out of that, even against Protoss players, as been said before. Really, if you want to have, just kind of side note, if you want to beat a Terran player, in my opinion, I feel like 2 Nexus Protoss is pseudo, even depending on technology with a Terran player, but Terran players will end up winning 90% of the time, in my opinion, simply because the Terran player can just sit and mass where the Protoss player cannot. If you want to beat a Terran player as a Protoss, you really need 1 extra Nexus. That's just kind of a side note. And that leads directly into a plug, I guess. Go check out sc2gg.com. Both Combat and Gravidian giving some good commentary there, and interesting place for that Nexus for Haran, as you can see, getting a little bit more gas. 5 Marines being produced, and let's see if 5 Marines going to push out for Harass. A second colony is going to be down for Haran, so he's going to be ready for it, and already an engineering bay going up. So even even if Haran was getting out a Mutalisk attack, I don't think it would have been all that successful, simply because that engineering bay down so fast because of Mind's economy. And it looks like an Overlord in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm curious if that's going to come into play later. 2 Overlords going to the bottom of the map, and Haran might be setting up for some sort of early drop. I'm not sure. As you can see, it's kind of on the minimap, kind of highlighting along the side of his base, now getting another gas up. And oddly enough, Mind has not taken his initial base gas. He's just gone for that secondary gas. He really doesn't need it for a medic marine build, but I'm still surprised he hasn't taken it simply because I was expecting him to kind of go into a factory a little bit earlier, kind of use that basically kind of the extra resources to advantage. And it looks like the audio sync is a little off. Sorry about that. That's because of the video process. Layer tech going on, and who else do I need to plug? Actually, Ascension. Go to mediaesports.com. And they have Ascension going on, which is actually a tournament league between some of the players, basically that are U.S., North American, European amateurs, basically foreigners to Korea. And Aspire is going up for Haran, but he also has an evolution pool down. So I'm not sure what he's upgrading alongside with his evolution pool. Maybe going to dedicate to more of a Ling build. But he does have a Spire up and a lot of Marines pushing up, and I'm not sure if Haran has enough to fight this off. Looks like Mind is getting a little distracted. As you see, he's trying to get that second creep colony up, but I think it looks like Mind is getting a little distracted. I think if he went directly into the base, he would have been fine, but Haran doing a very good job putting those Lings out there, kind of discouraging that. 2 medics out now, and the factory now going up for Mind. Mind getting 2 comsat stations up, so he's going to be in a good position to take Haran down right now, even if he had gone Lurkers, which he did not. He, in fact, went with a Spire, and we're not going to see Mutalisks for a good long time here, pushing up the Medic Marines, 2 Firebats, and we'll see what Haran can do to push this off. He really needs to get another Sunken Colony down, or at least protect these Lings. He's getting another Sunken Colony down now, but the question is he going to be in time? As you can see, these Marines pushing up, they do have the medic force, and really Mind can very carefully, even if he wants to, just hold those medic marine force back, plug Haran in his base, and bring up a secondary attack. But it looks like Mind is now turning around and is going to fall back. I guess he's fearing a little bit of a Mutalisk attack, even though the Mutalisks are not there, being very cautious, being very careful here. Getting a comsat off, he knows the layers there. I think he's seeing the eggs being developed, which is why he probably comsatted earlier, saw that the Spire is up, and now he's just going to pull back. He doesn't want to get absolutely overrun by a Mutalisk attack, but those Marines still in position to cut off a little bit of a Ling attack there, and I'm still surprised because those eggs had just gotten started. I think that's a little bit lucky for Haran there, and Starport going up, so I think Mind's basically going to have everything in place, and I think if Haran's going to stay in this game, he needs to expand somewhere across the map right now. He has a Mutalisk up, but I'm not sure if that's going to be all that effective. Second Evolution Chamber going down. Really, he needs to tech up to something now, but as you can see, the turrets are going to be there, and I'm surprised those weren't down earlier. Mind being not lackadaisical, but definitely a little bit behind, not playing as sharp as he usually does. Usually he's been well prepared for this sort of thing, and he had plenty of time. Looks like Haran is in fact teching to a Queen's Nest, but really to be effective with that, he needs to get another expansion down. Here comes the Mutalisk harass. Turret's not quite finished, but the Medic and Marines are right there, so we'll see if Haran's going to be all that effective with this Mutalisk harass. As you can see, just kind of hesitating. The Medic Marines just kind of follow them all the way down. More turrets up, and it looks like there's a decent-sized turret defense with a lot of Medic Marines out. And it looks like Mind's not producing anything out of that, any of those barracks. A little bit distracted here. Ling's coming around the corner, and it looks like Haran is in fact sending out, looks like a drone, so he's going to probably expand to the bottom right, if you can check the minimap. Another engineering bay going up. I'm very surprised that Mind not being super sloppy here, but definitely not up to his standard caliber. He has level 1 upgrades across the board. Haran looking very confident right here. He is going to be able to get to Hive Tech, as you can see, switching to Hive Tech right now, and let's see if Mind is going to have anything for it. Really, I feel like Mind a little bit on the defensive, really worried about those Mutalisks, and I feel like he should push now, putting it down another hatchery, not getting a hatchery out where he needs it at kind of a resource-producing section. Looks like he's instead going, switching to kind of an air build, getting 2 starports down, getting the science facility. I guess probably just going to start pumping science vessels, just going to let himself get the full set. Now Haran's expanding, but I feel like that might be a little bit late. A lot of... I'm really worried about that supply depot placement, actually, because if Haran does manage to get into that supply depot line, it's going to be very difficult to fight any Mutalisk attack off with Medic Marines. I'm not sure if Haran basically produces a few more turrets, that 3 turrets will do the job. I'm not actually familiar with how successful Haran's build would be, his Mutalisk harass is, and Haran going for both the Defilement and an Ultralisk mound simultaneously. Sorry, Ultralisk Den, cavern, Ultralisk cavern. Simultaneously, and I think that's somewhat of a mistake, because I don't feel like he has the resource base to really do that. Usually you want to go one or the other, and I think he might get caught kind of off guard. Basically, not going to have the resources or the gas to kind of deal with both. As you can see, going to have both tech at once. In the meantime, Mind's going to be able to push out with an attack here very shortly with a huge Medic Marine force. Going to have a couple science vessels, just going to start pumping science vessels at this point. Another barrack going down. And a decent-sized Ling and Mutalisk force here. We'll see how successful Haran is with that. Pushing down to the south, though, and instead of going for the main, gonna kind of, I guess, gonna try to protect his Mutalisks on the ground with it.